Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel Code with Surya Official. Today we are going to build a cool sign-up app using HTML and Tailwind CSS. And to make it look even better, we will add a beautiful animation library called Animate.css. This project is great if you are just starting to learn web development. You will learn how to build a clean and simple form, style it quickly with Tailwind CSS, and smooth animations with Animate.css. If I click the sign in link, it will take you to the sign in page. In our last video, we designed this sign in page. If you haven't watched it yet, please check it out first. The link is in the description box below. This is the awesome project that we are going to build today. If you are new to this channel, then please do like, share and subscribe to my channel. And if you are ready, then let's get started. Now I am in the Visual Studio Code Editor. I already created a folder, name is authentication. So in our last project, we created an animated sign-in form design. So let me show you the demo first. To run this HTML file, need to click this Go Live button from this Visual Studio Code Editor. So this is our sign-in form. So if you haven't seen the sign-in design video yet, please go and check out it. The link is in the description box below. So let's close this window and let's close this HTML file as well. And let's create our HTML file, and our HTML file name is signup.html. File need to write exclamation mark plus enter. So you can see our HTML boilerplate has been generated. First we need to change our title to animated sign up form. And in this video we are going to use Tailwind CSS. So let's check it for the Tailwind documentation. So let's search it here, tailwindcss.com. This is the official website for Tailwind. So let's click this get started button. From there I'm going to click this play CDN tab, and if I come down there is a script tag. So let's copy this script tag. Let's go back to the VS Code, and after this title tag need to paste it here. So you can see our Tailwind CDN has been linked in our HTML file. So let's create a class for this body tag, and here I'm going to write bg indigo 50, and mean height is screen. So save it, and to run this HTML file need to click this go live button from this Visual Studio Code Editor. So you can see our background color has been applied in the screen. So let's go back to the VS Code, and inside this body tag need to create a div, and the class is width is full and max width is MD. And inside this div I am going to create our sign up box. So let me write it here, sign up box. Okay, so below this comment I am going to create a div, and here class is bg is white, rounded is LG, shadow is XL, and overflow is hidden. And inside this div I am going to create another div, and here the class is padding y is 6 and padding x is 8. Okay, so save it and check it in the browser. So here is our box. Okay, but I need to put it in the center of the screen. So for that, in the parent div I am going to create display is flex, items is center, and justify also center. Save it and check it in the browser. So here you can see. So our box is coming exactly in the center of the screen. So let's go back to the VS Code. Inside this div, I am going to create another div, and inside this div, I am going to show our icon here. For that, we are going to use font awesome icons. So let's search here font awesome CDN. So click this first link. So this is the font awesome CDN. So let's copy this link tag, go back to the VS Code, and after this title tag need to paste it here. So you can see our font awesome CDN has been linked in our HTML file. Let's go back to the browser again, and let's search it here, font awesome library. Okay, so click this first link. So this is the official website for font awesome library. So let's click this icon menu. From there, I am going to search it here, user shield. Okay, so this is our icon. So let's click this icon. So it will open up a pop-up. So let's copy this code snippet, go back to the VS Code, and inside this div, I'm going to paste it here. Okay, so save it and check it in our browser. So this is our icon. This icon is too small, so for that, let's put it here. Text is 4XL and we need to change its text color. So text color is indigo 600. So save it and check it in our browser. So this looks fine, but I want to put vertically centered for this icon. Okay, so for that, let's go back to the VS Code and in the parent div, let's create a class and display is flex, justify is center, margin bottom is 6. So save it and check it in the browser. So you can see here it is. So this looks fine. So below this icon, let's create some text. For that, after this div, let me create a h2 tag. And below this h2 tag, let's create a paragraph tag and the text is join us today for exclusive features. And let's create a class for this h2 tag. Text is center and text is 3XL and font weight is extra bold and the text color is text gray 800 and margin bottom is 2. And below this paragraph tag, let me create a class. Text is also center and text color is gray 600 and margin bottom is 8. So save it and check it in the browser. So here it is. So this looks absolutely awesome. Okay. So now we are going to put some animation here. So for that we are going to use Animate.css. So let me write it here. Animate.css. So click this first link. So this is the official website for Animate.css. So here is the example. If you click here, so you can see this beautiful animation here. So according to your requirement, you will put the classes. If I come down, here they are showing how to install this package, but I am not going to install the package. I am going to copy this link tag and let's go back to the VS Code, it here. So you can see Animate CSS CDN has been linked in our HTML file. Okay, so here first I am going to put the animation for this entire box. So for that, so in the top, in the sign up box, after this overflow hidden, we need to put it here animate underscore underscore fade in off. So save it and check it in the browser. So you can see our animation is not working here. Just because of before writing this class, we need to put it a utility class here. So the utility class name is animate underscore underscore animated. So save it and check it in the browser. So you can see if I reload the page, then you can see this beautiful animation here. Now I am going to put the animation for this icon also. For that, let's go back to the VS Code and here in this I tag, I need to put it here animate-bounce class. So save it and check it in the browser. So you can see this beautiful animation here. Our header section is done. So let's create our form design. Okay, so for that, let's go back to the VS Code and after this p tag, let me create a form here. So form and inside this form, I'm going to write it here. Autocomplete is off and inside this form, let me create a div. So let me zoom it bit. So let me create a label here and label for is name. Okay, and the label is full name. Below this label, I am going to create another div and inside this div, I am going to create our input tag here. So for that, input and type is text, name is name and ID also name and the placeholder is John Doe. So let me create a class for this input tag and the class is padding y is 3, padding left is 10, so display is block, border and border color is gray 300 and rounded is MD, width is full and check it in our browser. So this looks beautiful. So in this input tag before this placeholder I'm going to put a icon here. So for that let's go back to the font awesome library and here I'm going to search it here user. Let's click this icon and let's copy this code snippet, go back to the VS Code And inside this div, let's create another div and paste it here. Okay, so save it and check it in our browser. So you can see this is our icon, but I need to put this icon to here. So for that, let's create a class for this div, and here position is absolute and inset y is 0, left is 0, padding left is 3, and here the div is absolute, so let's put this parent div as a relative. So here it is relative. Okay, we need to put some margin top is 1 and it should be rounded md and shadow is sm. So save it and check it in our browser. So here it is. Okay, but if you can notice here our placeholder and this icon is not in the same line. So for that, let's create a flex box here. So display is flex, items is center. So save it and check it in our browser. So you can see this looks beautiful. So if you can see here, if I hover over this icon, then the pointer is coming here. So for that, so we need to restrict here pointer events none. So save it and check it in the browser. So you can see. So if I hover over this icon, there is no pointer. So this looks beautiful. Okay, so the next step is I want to change its text color. So for that, so here text color is gray 400. So save it and check it in the browser. So this looks beautiful. So let's create a class for this label, and here font weight is medium and text color is text gray 700. So save it and check it in the browser. So this looks beautiful. So our full name is done. But now I am going to put some animation here. So for that, let's go back to the VS Code, and in the parent div, I am going to create a class here. Animate underscore underscore animated, and after that again need to write animate underscore underscore fade in left, and we need to delay the animation. So for that need to write animate underscore underscore 1 second. So save it and check it in the browser. So you can see this beautiful animation here. So let's do it for the email ID. So for that, so let's copy this entire div and below need to paste it here. So instead of this full name, I need to write email address, and here type is email and name also email and ID also email. Okay, and the placeholder is example@yapmail.com. So save it and check it in the browser. So here it is. So this is our full name and this is our email address. So if you can notice here, our full name and email address is attached to each other. So for that, let me put some gap here. So margin top is 5. So save it and check it in the browser. So now this looks beautiful. Okay, but if I reload the page, then you can see full name and the email address is coming from the same side. Okay, so that means it is coming from the left hand side, but I need to put this full name to the left hand side and email address to the right hand side. So for that, I need to change it this animation to fade in right. Okay, so save it and check it in the browser. So this looks beautiful. So let's do it for the password. So for that, so again copy this entire div and let's create for the password. So here in the label text, so instead of this email address, I need to put it here password, and type is also password, name is password, and ID also password. Okay, and let's change the placeholder to dot 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 like this. Okay, so save it and check it in our browser. So you can see this looks beautiful. Okay, so here if you can notice here, I just forgot to change the icon. Okay, so for that email address I need to search it here envelope. Okay, so let's search it here envelope. So this is the icon. So if I click the icon, it will open up this pop-up. So let's copy this code snippet, go back to the VS Code. So in the email address, so I am going to replace this FA user to FA dash, save it and check it in the browser. So here it is. Okay, And in the password, I'm going to put a lock symbol here. So for that, need to search it here, lock. So this is our icon. So if I click this icon, it will open up this pop-up. So let's copy this code snippet, go back to the password section, and instead of this FA user, we need to put it here FA log. So save it and check it in the browser. So this is our icon. Okay, so this looks beautiful. Okay, so let's quickly do it for the confirm password. So for that, again let's copy this password div and paste it here. Okay, and instead of this password, I need to write it here confirm password, and the type is password, name is confirm password, confirm dash password. So copy this name and paste it here. Okay, so save it and check it in our browser. So this looks beautiful. So our full name, email, password and confirm password, everything is looks beautiful. But if I reload the page, then you can see the animation. So this email, password and confirm password is coming from the right. Okay, so I need to change the animation here. Okay, so for that, let's go back to the VS Code, and for the password, it should be coming from the left hand side. Okay, and animation delay is 2 seconds. Okay, and for the confirm password, it is coming from right hand side, but and again here animation delay is 2 seconds. So save it. So you can see this looks beautiful. Okay, so our full name, email address, password and confirm password, all the animation is looks beautiful. So let's target our sign up button. So for that, let's go back to the VS Code. Okay, and after this div and before this form tag, I'm going to create a div, and here inside this div I'm going to create a button tag here. Okay, so the text is sign up. Let's create a class for this button. Width is full and py is 3, px is 4, and we need to put some border here. So border, and border color is transparent. The rounded is MD. We need to put some shadow here. So the shadow is SM, and text color is white color, and BG color is indigo 600. Okay, and if I hover over this button, then BG color is indigo 700. Okay, so save it and check it in the browser. So you can see this looks beautiful. Okay, but I want to change this cursor and put some animation here. So for that, we need to put cursor is pointer, so transform, and duration is 300 millisecond. We need to put some hover effect here. So hover scale is 105. So save it and check it in the browser. So if I hover over this button, then you can see this beautiful animation. Okay, so this looks beautiful. And if you can notice here, our confirm password section and this sign up button is attached to each other. So for that, let's go back to the VS Code, and in the parent div, so let's create a class, and margin top is 5, and we need to put some animation here, animate underscore underscore animated, and here we need to put some animation. So animate underscore underscore fade in off, we need to put animation delay here. So animation delay is 3 seconds. So save it and check it in the browser. So you can see this looks beautiful. Okay, so if I reload the page again, then you can see this beautiful animation. This looks absolutely awesome. Okay, so our button also done. So let's do it for the next section. So our next section is, after this form I'm going to put a divider here. So for that, let's create a div. Inside this div I'm going to create another div, and inside this div I'm going to put two div here. So div into 2. Okay, so below this div let me create a span tag here, and let's write, and here let's create a class for this span, and px is 2 and bg is white and text color is gray 500. Let's create a class for this parent div, and position is relative, display is flex, justify content is center, and text is SM. So save it and check it in the browser. So here it is. Okay. So this looks beautiful. Now I'm going to put one divider here. So for that, in the top, in the parent div, let me create another div here, and inside this div, let me create a class, and width is full, and we need to create a border for the top, and color is border gray 300. Okay, and let me create a class for this parent div, and here position is absolute and inset is 0. So if you can notice, this div position is absolute. So let me create a parent div for the relative and save it and check it in the browser. So you can see this is our divider. So if you can see here, if I reload the page, then you can see this beautiful divider. But if you can notice, our divider is not in the same line. So let's create a flex box here. Display is flex and items is center. So save it and check it in the browser. So you can see now our divider is looks beautiful. Okay. So now you can see this sign up button and this divider is attached to each other. So for that, let me create a class for this parent div, and here margin top is 6, and we need to put some animation here. So animate underscore underscore animated, and here we need to put animate fade in, and need to put it here animation delay is 4 seconds. Okay, so save it and check it in our browser. So you can see this beautiful animation. So this looks beautiful. So let's create our other section. Okay, so for that, after this div, I'm going to create another div. Margin top is 6. So we need to put a grid here. So grid, and grid column is 3. Grid column is 3, and we need to put some gap here. So gap is 4. Okay. So inside this div, I'm going to create another div, and here inside this div need to create a anchor tag here. Here I'm going to put our icon. So for that, so let's search a Facebook icon here. So this is our Facebook icon. So let's click this icon. So let's copy this code snippet and paste it here. Okay, so let's copy this div and paste it here for another 2 times. So first one is Facebook, second one is Twitter. So let's search it for Twitter. So click this icon and copy this code snippet and let's paste it here. So save it and check it in our browser. So you can see this looks beautiful. So the last icon is Google. So let me search it here, Google. So click this icon and copy this code snippet and need to paste it here. So let me create a class for this anchor tag. Width is full, inline flex, and justify is center, py is 2, px is 4. Some border here, so border, and the border color is gray 300, and need to put rounded is md, and shadow is sm, and bg color is white color, and font weight is medium, and text color is text gray 500. So let's copy this class and paste it here for other anchor tag also. So save it and check it in our browser. Then this looks beautiful. Okay, great. So if I hover over the social icons, then I need to put some animation here. So for that, Control D, and let's put a hover effect here. So hover and scale is 110. Okay, so transform and duration is 300. So save it and check it in our browser. Okay, so if I hover over this icon, then you can see this beautiful animation here. Okay, so this looks beautiful. So let's do it for the last section. So let's go back to the top, and here I'm going to collapse this div, and after this div I'm going to create another div, And inside this div, let's create a paragraph tag, and the text is already have an account. Okay, after this text I'm going to create an anchor tag here. So href which has, and the text is sign in. Okay, so let's create a class for this anchor tag first. So the font weight is medium, text color is indigo 600, and if I hover over this text, then the text color should be changed to indigo 500. And let's put a transition here, and the duration is 300. So let's create a class for this paragraph tag, and here class is text is sm, and text color is gray 600. Okay, so save it and check it in the browser. So this is our text. Okay, but I want to put vertically center. So for that, let's go back to the VS Code, and here let me create a class for this parent div, and margin top is 6, and text is center, and need to put some animation here. So animate underscore underscore animated, and animate underscore underscore fade in. And let's put a animation delay here. So animation delay is 5 seconds. Okay, so save it and check it in our browser. So you can see this beautiful animation here. So if we already have an account, and if I click this sign in button, then it will redirect to the sign in page. So for that, let's go back to the code, and here instead of this hash, let me put it here dot slash signin.html. Okay, and inside this signin.html, here we have a sign off. Okay, so here also I need to put it here dot slash signoff.html. So save it and check it in our browser. So you can see this beautiful animation, and if I click this sign in button, then it will redirect to this sign in form. Okay, and if I click this sign up button, then it will redirect to this sign up form. So this looks beautiful. Okay, so then you can see this beautiful animation here. So this is all about this video. If you found this video helpful, then please give it a thumbs up. It really motivates me. Also don't forget to subscribe to my channel Code with Surya Official. Till then, keep smiling and happy coding. See you in the next video.